Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Big recruiting weekend for Tennessee. The 865 live recruiting event is in the books. The common theme kind of coming out of the weekend is family, is relationships. You know, that's something we heard in the interview on Friday night with Anthony Agamoro was his mom speaking about Josh Heupel and this coaching staff being more than football. It's about family, and we hear it. We say it's kind of buzzwords in the world of recruiting, but when Coach Heupel puts it in action, it's the same song and dance every single recruiting weekend. We hear about this coaching staff. We hear about the culture that Josh Heupel is building in Knoxville. You can go to Twitter. You can go to the 865 live hashtag. Of course, here you can see G-Mac hanging out, doing the scavenger hunt. I like the T-shirts, man. He's repping Kelsey's crew with Coach Pope. You can go on down here. I think this was my favorite shirt. Coach Inge, his group, the Avengers. But we all know who the headliner was, right? There's Justin Baker. We can see David Sanders, the man of the hour, the man that everybody is talking about. Sounds like he had a good weekend. One of the things I liked, he continues to build relationships. Obviously, he's got the relationship with George McIntyre. We've heard about his relationship with Jalen Matthews. Jalen Matthews said, hey, me and David Sanders can see ourselves playing together in Knoxville. But this weekend, he also spent a lot of time with four-star interior offensive lineman Nick Moore. Now, coming out of the visit, VolQuest sounds like those two have a lot in common. They're building that bond. They're building that relationship. Could we see David Sanders and Nick Moore both in Knoxville playing for the same football team? You know, we talked about Nick Moore just recently. He's a guy, that in-state kid that Tennessee just offered. They've got some work to do, but it sounds like things are trending in the right direction. Five-star wide receiver Jamie French was in town. Shady Hayward was here, all but confirmed he's a volunteer. One of the quotes to VolQuest was, I'm really just here to help Tennessee recruit. Now, another guy that was in town, five-star edge rusher Jared Smith, he put out a quote, said, Tennessee is way higher on my list than people think. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the five-star edge rusher, but as always, I need you guys to do me a favor and smash that thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, free, easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't talk at you. We talk with you here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be live Wednesday night. Talkin VAWLS live. We're going to be talking a little ball with Tennessee commit running back Justin Baker. That's Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss that. Thursday night, 6:30, we're playing NCAA football, talking all things Tennessee football, so come hang out for that as well. But let's jump into it. Let's talk about Jared Smith. If you're not familiar with him, one of the top-ranked edge rushers in the country. Now, you can see the industry rankings have him as a four-star. On three is a little low on him. They've got him as 175th in the country. 247 Sports has him as one of the top 20 players in the country, a five-star edge rusher, 6'6", 230 pounds out of Hoover, Alabama. Now, this was from GoVols 247 going into the visit. Says he visited Tennessee twice in 2022, made more trips to Knoxville last year. Most recently, the Vols win over A&M in October. Said he's already set to return to Tennessee on an official visit the weekend of the 14th. Now he's planning to visit the Vols again this weekend. That was the 865 Live recruiting event before continuing his official visits with a trip to South Carolina. Georgia, Florida State, Southern Cal are also scheduled to host him. Took an official visit to Ole Miss last month. Now, as far as Jared Smith as a player, let's go take a look at the highlights. I'll go through the scouting report if you're unfamiliar. Again, you know, the size, 6'6", the length, 6'6", 235 pounds. But I'll let you guys take a look at the highlights. These are actually his sophomore season highlights. So let's take a look at those. We'll go through the scouting report here from 247 Sports. Said he has been verified at 6'6.5", 235 pounds in February of 2024, possesses the prototypical size and elite length. Again, man, 6'6", coming off that edge. He's primarily positioned as a five technique in an even front, in addition to flashing some ability as a stand-up edge and situational pass rushing downs. Says he exhibits good foot and body quickness for his size, showing the ability to bend the edge and win with a combination of quickness and athleticism off the line of scrimmage. That was something, you know, I was listening to his interview with VolQuest, and they were talking about his game, asking about his game. He says, the bend is how you make the money, and I've got the ability to bend coming off the edge. Says he appears to play with above average play speed, but is still obviously growing into the position in regards to striking and physicality at the point of attack. Will need to learn how to utilize his length and play to his frame as he continues to add weight to what is better described as a basketball physique at this point of his physical development. Says he possesses all the physical characteristics collegiate programs and NFL organizations seek at the defensive line or edge position, but must continue to refine his skill set from a technical and play strength standpoint to reach his full potential. So again, a guy they're saying needs a little development, right? Needs a little work. Well, who is the best defensive line coach in the country? Rodney Garner. He had some nice things to say about Coach G. He understands who he is and what he's done and his body of work. We'll get into that in just a second. Goes on to say here, projects as a high multi-year starter at a Power 4 program with the ability to one day mature into a day 1 or day 2 NFL draft choice, will more than likely take a year or two to develop at the collegiate level before seeing considerable snaps. So again, the potential, the athleticism, the prototypical body type for playing that edge position needs a little development, needs a little work. Again, I think Coach G is up to the task, but he was in town this weekend for the 865 live event. Coming out of the visit, he told Matt Ray of VolQuest, he said he had a really good trip. We'll be back at the end of June. And then he goes on to say that he is adamant. He is adamant that Tennessee is higher on his list than most people realize. And a big part of that is because of Rodney Garner's consistent production of defensive linemen. And this is something, I talked about when we were going through Isaiah Gibson and Tennessee hoping to get him on in town for the 865 live event. He will be in town for an official visit. But in regards to that recruitment, just the body of work just since Coach G has been back at Tennessee, right? What we've seen Byron Young do in the NFL, what James Pierce is doing now, being projected as a number 1 overall draft pick as an edge rusher. These guys take notice. That's how you start to stack these recruiting classes. That's how you build Tennessee back to what it's supposed to be. Rodney Garner's a big part of that. So as he continues to put more and more guys in the league, we get it. We understand. We can look back at the old days. We can look back 20 years ago. We do that a lot when we're talking about Tennessee football, right? We look back to the days of Peyton Manning. But these kids, they don't care about Peyton Manning. They care about Alvin Kamara. They care about Byron Young. They care about James Pierce. They care about the here and now. So Rodney Garner, they are taking notice. Now, his interview with VolQuest, absolutely loved it coming out of the visit. Again, like I said at the top of the video, he said wasn't really recruiting, just hanging out, having a good time. Josh Heupel is able to create that atmosphere, that environment. He said he spent a lot of time with Coach Garner, likes his production, how he puts guys into the league. Goes on to talk about Josh Heupel in that interview and how he's all about relationships. He said he's not just trying to remember your name, but he's actually trying to learn about you as a person. Again, I can't say it enough. If you missed mine and Coach Jay, our interview with Anthony Agamoro, go back, give it a watch. It's under the live tab on the YouTube channel. Even if you just watch the first 30 minutes, just watch the interview portion, you'll get a good peek at who Josh Heupel is and what he's about. The story that Anthony's mom told us, that she shared with us, personal information. Good stuff. We've got the right guy leading this football team. As I said from the Go Vols 247 article, going to take his official visits. He's got South Carolina coming up next, Georgia, Florida, Florida State, USC. He's going to visit Tennessee officially on June the 14th. Doesn't have a date ironed out yet as far as commitment, but he does want to do it before his senior season of high school football. And again, the quote, Tennessee is very high on my list. A lot of people don't realize that, but they are very high. We're going to continue to cover the 865 live recruiting event. Got a lot going on. Going to drop the video sporadically as I can, maybe even going into next week. But Tennessee's got a huge opportunity in this class of 2025. George McIntyre was in town peer recruiting. 4-star safety Shady Hayward hasn't come off the board yet, but said he was in town to recruit for Tennessee. Did they make enough of a move with David Sanders? David Sanders is now going to be going to Nashville for the On3 event. Guess who's going to be right with him by his side? That would be 5-star quarterback George McIntyre. The peer recruiting continues. I think David Sanders is the foundational piece that we need for this class of 2025. What do you guys think? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, do me a favor. Smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. You can also go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link's also in the description below. You want to support the channel, think about hitting that join button right over there beside subscribe. You can do that for as little as $1 a month. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows, a power T beside your name in the chat and in the comments section. But more importantly, you are supporting this channel for the fans, by the fans, but also fan-funded. We could not do this without you guys. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. Hope you guys have a great Sunday. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.